Shouldn't Barbie be cancelled? Hey y'all, I'm Ken and I bet you already got my name. Let's start with the poll for the video. Should Barbie be cancelled? 50% said yes, 85% said keep her name out of your mouth. Follow me to be in my next poll. I went into this topic 100% to be faced offended by Barbie and canceling according to society standards. I was pleasantly surprised when I started doing research and dived into the history. Before we start, I don't play with dolls. I have played with action figures, so I guess same, but different. As a guy, we know Barbie's basically a white skinny girl with blonde hair who just loves the kitchen. Also, she loves pink if you haven't noticed. Also seems dumb, and look at me, I'm Barbie. Life in plastic. It's fantastic. You can brush my hair and touch me everywhere. Imagination. Life is your creation. Come on, Barbie, let's go party. That song is so bad against women. Basically, women are property and sex toys. I personally don't care if Barbie is pro-feminist or sexist. It's a product that exists before this video and after this video. It's not going anywhere anytime soon. It will be beloved by millions of girls for the next 101 guy. I know there are some guys that like them. I don't know why, but I'm sure they're out there. Anyways, times have changed since March 9, 1959. The birthday of Barbie. Now Barbie is 64 years old and ew, gross. Good thing Barbie itself didn't age. A woman named Ruth Handler saw her daughter playing with paper dolls and giving adult roles. At the time, toys were only representations of infants, so already sexist for girls to take care of kids. There were other dolls in Europe of adult people. A doll named Bill's Lily existed. Ruth bought them to see how her daughter would react. She loved it. Guess who her husband was? The co-founder of Mattel. You know, the company that produces Barbie now. He was unenthusiastic and so were the co-directors. Let's be real, it was most probably all men. Plus there probably wasn't any research done if this is a good product or not. Here it is for a demographic you aren't part of. I always found it a little weird for adults to create toys and entertainment for kids. Always found it cringy for grown-ass adults to entertain kids, like the Wiggles. I get why, but like it feels weird. The wife designed it and put it in a toy fair on March 9, 1959. 350,000 were sold in the first year. All the clothes were hand-sewn in Japanese homeworkers. Of course they did. That hasn't changed in the slightest. Anyways, remember the first doll of Bill Lilly? The company sued Mattel for copyright infringement and patent infringement of using the hip technology and looking like a doll. Mattel then bought the patents a few years later. Years later, the wife and husband were countersued and settled out of court. In 1964, Mattel bought the rights and patents for the doll, and that was that. Years later, they were found guilty of issuing false and misleading financial reports. So now it comes to body shape. Women go from skinny to thick with 2 C's. Thick kind of lost meaning. Thick means something a little different. Thick could be 300 pounds. I definitely don't think so. It's not big and beautiful either. You're just fat. Anyways, Barbie was created skinny because the mother was probably skinny, but also the skinnier the person, the less fabric to produce. Barbie itself hadn't changed much. 3 big changes to her body throughout the years. Parents complained her breasts were too prominent. 2, her eyes were too much side glancing, so they made it more forward looking. 3, her limbs could move more. 9 years after the debut of Barbie, we got Christy, the first black character in the Barbie universe. Pretty dope at the time with the race war going on. Could it be to help the race wars or money or both? Awesome to have a black version. Not something I thought I would say out loud. Barbie started out as a fashion model and has over 200 careers since then. It motivated women that jobs like going to space or becoming doctors and more to life than fashion and kitchen and lounging. Representation is important, especially to kids. According to a 2010 study, Netherlands kids who played with skinnier dolls ate less versus girls who played with average portion dolls. In 2021, another study found that young girls described smaller, ideal bodies after playing with ultra-thin dolls like Barbie versus more realistic ones. Now there are dolls of all sizes, curvy, petite, and tall Barbie dolls along the original model. Even have a disability one with a wheelchair, hearing aids, and a prosthetic leg. Even one has Down syndrome. I never had representation growing up, so like whatever I wanted to do, I did, or at least I tried. I am not everybody else where people need to see representation to do stuff. I do say it's important for girls or kids to see representation in different fields of like what it is possible. Of course, with a lot of work and drive and motivation. Let's be real, women had a huge uphill battle over the decades. They were just allowed to vote like 100 years ago. A lot of discrimination getting jobs because they were women. The world wars came around and women did a lot of jobs that weren't feminine. Discrimination and all that. Even a controversial equal pay. It was not a thing at the time. Regardless of the person, if you can do X thing, you get paid for Y value. The more experience you have, the more you get paid. That's pretty easy to say. I feel now we have reached the ceiling for women. At least in the United States and big cities like New York City and like London, England, women have the freedom to start businesses and be independent. It's easier than ever since they aren't locked down to a man to survive. There's no more equal pay problems anymore, and women don't really have an excuse. There will be women who blame the patriarchy and stuff, but like you have to try hard, and a lot of fail and then blame everything but themselves. Look at how many women selling knives or sex toys or pyramid schemes and fail. Maybe you don't have a good product or unlucky. Look at businesses in a city street. Look at the ones who closed. Do you say that all the failed ones are women? No, they didn't have enough money to pay the rent. Case closed. They gotta try again or come up with a different idea and try again. Successful owners in our past, so there's not really a good excuse for not being able to do something. There are women who want to be in traditional roles of staying at home and be a stay-at-home mom and clean the house. Others want to go out and dominate the world. You know, feminists. I love the feminists. They're not the one who thinks they are superior to men. We both have pros and cons. We need each other to survive. Men built all of this though, and I feel we forgot that. We're going off topic. Go Barbie and keep doing your thing. The only critique is the curvy option. There was research done with girls ate less when playing with skinny dolls. It is dangerous for curvy people to keep eating because you can get even fatter and fatter and fatter and think it is okay. I do understand it's dangerous with anorexia and bulimia. It's also dangerous on the other end too. We will have the reverse problem of people being too fat and blaming models and stuff like we have with skinny people. Thanks for watching and I'll catch you in the morning.